Good morning. Welcome to the Women's Business Development Center, WBDC, and WBENC, Women's Business Enterprise National Council, onboarding webinar. My name is Karen Goldner. I'm the Managing Director of Established Business Services for the Women's Business Development Center. I'm based in our Chicago office, and we also have offices in the Twin Cities, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Kansas City, and serving 9 Midwestern states. In the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be walking through the WBENC network and services, the WBDC and our services, and how we all fit together to grow your business. A couple of housekeeping points. This program is being recorded this morning. It will live on our website. We don't share the deck, but I'll share the link to our programs at the end of this session. And you can also, if you're watching this later, then you'll know where you found it. So there you go. This program is designed for certified WBEs. If you are not certified and have questions about getting certified, you're certainly welcome to stay through the program. We also offer certification know before you apply workshops, which might be more appropriate for your specific questions. But I'm happy to answer some of those questions at the end of the program. Also, just in terms of housekeeping, because this is being recorded, I will answer questions at the end of the session so that the questions themselves aren't necessarily recorded, just for comfort and everything. So we are super glad that you are part of the WBDC and WBENC network. Congratulations on getting through the certification part of this journey. And I also congratulate you on showing up for this because sometimes there is a tendency to just say, oh my God, okay, I'm certified. Whew, that was a lot of work and now we're done. But that is actually just the first step to making the certification work for your business. So today I'm going to be covering 3 topics from a WBENC National Office perspective. The WBENC overview, WBENC network, and WBENC's core platform of certification opportunities, resources, and engagement. This information, coupled with the regional office information from our perspective at the Women's Business Development Center, celebrating our 40th anniversary, as you can see, will allow you to see how the whole WBENC network is here to support you. WBENC's mission is to fuel economic growth through access to opportunities by identifying, certifying, and facilitating development of women-owned businesses. WBENC is the largest certifier of both WBE and WOSB firms, and in addition, along with its regional partner organizations, is the largest women's business development organization in the country. There are currently over 20,000 certified WBEs, and of that, about 8,000 or so are also certified WOSBs. There's several hundred corporate members and 14 regional partners, including the WBDC across the country. So all WBENC certified WBEs and WOSBs are certified by the Regional Partner Organization, or RPO, in their headquartered state. As I said, there are 14 RPOs across the country, many of whom have branch offices, which you can see on this map, where you can get involved based on your company's footprint or desired footprint. This map displays those offices for you, and you'll see that we have regional partner offices in most of the major metro areas across the country. This is important. Please feel free to attend RPO events wherever you would find it helpful. So we are this purple RPO right here, but if you have interest in Atlanta or Seattle or wherever, please look at the websites for those organizations, which is right here. Obviously, it's also on the WBENC website, which I'll share at the end in the chat, and attend events. Just look at their websites and go wherever you think it would be helpful for your business. As I mentioned, we have offices in the Twin Cities, Milwaukee, Kansas City, St. Louis, and also Peoria and Aurora, Illinois, in addition to our Chicago headquarters. From a network, we strongly encourage you to get involved with us, as there are many opportunities and resources available to you locally, and we'll talk about that through the program. So this gives you the list of the WBEs, or I'm sorry, the RPOs across the country. All right. When you applied for certification, WBENC Link was simply an application portal. Now that you're certified, it is much more. All of the brand guidelines are housed on WBENC Link and can be accessed on the left side of your WBENC Link screen. It contains all of the specifications of these logos and an array of versions for your different uses, different kind of digital versions, depending on what you're going to be using it for. If you scroll to the bottom of the brand guidelines, you'll see a sample news release, which you can use if you'd like. Sometimes people miss that. So the WBENC brand is well respected in the marketplace, and displaying the WBENC certified seal or the women-owned logo on your website, marketing material, or packaging can be very beneficial. You can use either or both if you wish. As I mentioned, I live in Chicago. One day I was just out in my neighborhood and I saw a CTA bus go by that had been wrapped by one of our larger WBEs in the consumer products industry. And the woman-owned logo was right on the back of the CTA bus. And unfortunately, I couldn't grab my phone out fast enough to take a picture. But as I said, either or both. This obviously is a little bit more consumer focused because consumers don't know what WBENC means. And this is a little bit more corporate. Sometimes people do have both on their website, and that's perfectly fine. So here's some ways that WBEs use the logos. Unfortunately, they don't have the bus option on here, but most people find other uses. And as I mentioned, for WBEs who have products that are consumer facing, the women-owned logo is an initiative to enable consumers to identify those products supplied by women-owned businesses when they're shopping. Across the globe, women-owned businesses supply a wide range of products sold in retail stores everywhere. WBENC has a dedicated website. And this is www.buywomenowned.com. And we encourage you to access it for your own shopping needs, and also to let us know if you have a product in the stores or a product that is consumer facing that you're trying to get into stores. So here are some brand guidelines. I am just going to point out a couple of points. So this is the WBENC WBE certification. There are other types of WBE, Women Business Enterprise certifications, that different governments use, such as the state of Missouri or the city of Chicago. Those government certifications are designed for purposes of selling to those governments. So the fact that you're based in Missouri doesn't necessarily mean that you should get the Missouri WBE unless you want to sell to, Mizzou or, some state agency in Missouri. The WBENC WBE certification is primarily focused on selling to major corporations. Then the other thing is that the business itself is what is certified. You, as the human owner, are not certified because you are a human. So this just means that if you were ever to create a separate business, so you're going to create a second business at some point, that you would want to be certified. That second business would need to be certified separately. That's something we can talk through with you, when those kinds of situations arise. As we previously discussed, WBENC provides two types of certification. I mentioned the WOSB. So the WBENC WBE is used primarily in the private sector, and WOSB, women-owned small business, is used to sell to the federal government. Many of our WBEs have both WBE and WOSB certification. And as many of you know, you first had to apply for WBENC WBE certification and then WOSB. If you have recently been certified with the WBE certification, and you're waiting on the WOSB certification, that can take about another 30 days. If you haven't heard in a couple, 3 weeks, you might just check your WBENC link account, sign in with your username and password, make sure there's no Q&As like maybe the reviewer has asked you for a document or something. But assuming there's no Q&As pending, then you should be getting it in a couple weeks after that. If it gets to more than a month, you can reach out to me and put my contact information in the chat when we're done. Karen Goldner, Goldner at WBDC.org for people who are watching this recording later, and I'll follow up. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention here is I'm going to talk about the WBENC Link proprietary password protected database, which will be a directory of both WBEs and corporate partners. Sometimes people say, oh, is there some sort of directory? And the answer is yes, it's WBENC Link. And the other thing that sometimes people ask about the WOSB logo, there kind of isn't one. They come and go with whether there is one. If you can just look online. I mean, we don't provide it for you. We don't have it. You can, see if you can find an SBAW OSB logo. From time to time, there is one. There used to be none, then there was one, and now I'm not sure that there is one anymore. So, but for purposes of your marketing materials, you can simply put WOSB, and that's good enough. So recertification, your WBE and WOSB certification needs to be renewed each year. You will receive an automated notification 120 days prior to your expiration, but sometimes these go to spam, or you just sometimes don't even see them, I think. And so we encourage you to simply mark your calendar. The purpose of the recertification is to make sure that updated WBE information is available in WBENC Link and to ensure the integrity of the certification, making sure that companies continue to meet WBENC standards. If your certificate, and this is how you find out the easiest way is to find your recertification date, your expiration date, is to look at your certificate, and it'll say something like March 31st, 2027. March 31st is not the deadline. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, well, my deadline is that. No, that's actually when it expires. It can take us 30 to 60 days to do the renewal. Now, the recertification or renewal application is much less time consuming for you. You simply provide updated taxes and financials. And then if there's been any change in ownership, management, or control of the business, you would provide us those documents. Obviously, that doesn't happen frequently. So generally, it's just updated tax and financial information. And then every 3 years, we are required to do another virtual site visit with you. So one other thing I want to point out is, again, in this example of my March 31st, let's say that I, submit the renewal, Christmas time. And so it's in by the first of the year and we get through it. And by February 15th, we've recertified you. You don't lose time. So we would just push it out to March 31st, 2028 at that point. So it's really to your benefit to get your application in sooner than later. And then you just don't have to worry about it. And then you don't have to, like, oh, I got a customer who needs it. And it's like, well, we'll get it to you as soon as we can. But if you've already submitted it and gotten the renewal, then there's no fuss and no drama. So now that you're certified, what are you going to do with it? Like any business tool, putting it on your website and forgetting about it is not really the strongest strategy. So first of all, use WBENC Link to make sure your profile is complete and accurate. Many WBEs don't use the business description fields very well. This is basically a search engine optimization play. In other words, we don't want you to say Goldner Enterprises is a proud third-generation family-owned business that provides great services to our customers, right? You have no idea what any of that means. What do I actually do? So don't think of those description fields as being narratives or essays. They should be lists of keywords. So make sure that you use your business description to include words that prospective customers would use to search for you. Again, words like excellent and high quality are irrelevant. If you're certified or licensed to sell or work on certain high demand brands, such as specific types of HVAC equipment, for instance, list those brands. If you have a specialty in solar energy, list that. If you provide certain kinds of training that might be more kind of proprietary types of, words that somebody might be searching in the marketplace for. Put that. If you are a marketing firm and you specialize in the financial services industry, list that. You can attend a WBENC Link certified WBE training offered monthly by going to WBENC Link. Now, the trick here is you don't sign in. Before you sign in, you would see the button that says see our upcoming schedule. You click on it, click view to reserve your spot. We also have a video that I will put the link to our video library in the chat at the end of this, and you can take a look at that as well. And we also offer Essentials of Leveraging Your WBE Certification, which is a two-part virtual series that the WBDC offers every other month. The next time will be June of 2026. I'm going to say 2026 in case people are watching the video. And I'll put the link to that in the chat at the end of the program. The WBENC Insights program is actually currently inactive, but we have great online resources at the WBDC to help you, and I'll put that in the chat as we move along. Okay. So next step is to create your target list. Don't limit yourself to corporations. Depending on your business, it might make as much or more sense to look at subcontracting opportunities, selling to other WBEs in addition to corporate sales. We're here to help, so please do not, let me say it positively, please feel free. Please do reach out to me. I will put my information in the chat at the end. Obviously, for people who are watching the recording, here's the phone number. You can also look at our website to get scheduling links. Make an appointment to talk to me, Karen Goldner, or one of our other team members throughout our region, which I'll talk more about in a minute, to help you think through a strategy and appropriate tactics. So the WBDC does a variety of events, both virtual and in person. Virtual Corporate Connections typically occurs in May of each year, and in 2026, that will be May 19th. And then we typically do a Midwest Utility Conference. This is also virtual, generally in November or early December. And we will be doing that again this year as well. The date for that will be set in the coming, by midsummer. These are great opportunities to connect with representatives of corporations and also with other WBEs. Then we do local events in each of our major markets, and those will be starting, Milwaukee will be starting in July. And so between July and mid-September, we will be in each of our communities with in-person, like signature events. In many of these markets, we do in-person events throughout the year that are sort of smaller scale. And then also we'll be having one in Chicago probably in September. And then also in Chicago, our 40th anniversary celebration this year, we're very excited about it, will be October 15th, and that will be quite a gala. So you'll see information about all of these coming up. And that gives me an opportunity to talk about emails. I know that everybody gets too many emails. I know that no one likes getting the emails. And I know that when you get an email that's like, I'm on my last nerve, you have a tendency to unsubscribe. The only way that we, and also WBENC, can communicate with you to let you know about opportunities is by sending you emails. Once you unsubscribe from our Constant Contact, we can't send you any more emails through our Constant Contact. So I just would encourage you, if you see an email and it's not of value to you, we try and have some discretion in how much we send out. But if it's not of value to you, please just give us a little grace, delete the email, go on with your day, because the next email that we send you might be valuable. And I do have WBEs say, well, I didn't know about that. It's like, well, we sent emails. I can't call 2,500 WBEs every time we have something cool going on. So I appreciate that grace, and WBENC also does as well. In a minute, you'll see why, because WBENC also has a lot of exciting programs. So once you've gotten your foot in the door, it's time to pitch. We have live and online and in-person events that can help. If you don't have a strong capability statement, you need one. So this is a one-pager that would be clear, concise, and fact-based, listing major projects or ideally customers. In our digital learning library, we have a 20-minute video on this topic. I'll put that information in the chat as well. And that's something that we also talk about at our Essentials of Leveraging certification, which is that every other month 2-session virtual program that will be again in June of 2026. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the workshop, we have offices in 5 states. For WBE certification and procurement services, please contact us at our headquarters in Chicago or at any of our major market offices in Kansas City, Milwaukee, St. Louis, and the Twin Cities. And in addition to certification and procurement, The WBDC provides services such as help with business plans, small business lending, and government contracting to Illinois businesses. These are funded by the state of Illinois and other government grants. We provide these services at our headquarters location in downtown Chicago, as well as 2 Illinois satellite locations, Aurora and Peoria. If you're not based in Illinois, these services are available to you through local partners such as Women's Business Centers and Apex Accelerator government contracting centers in your community. Feel free to reach out to us if you have trouble getting connected. In addition to WBDC's events, WBENC also offers a variety of programs to help you grow your business. Some are virtual and some are in person. So here is more detail on the many executive education and affinitive programs that WBENC offers. The WBENC pitch is an annual event and generally starts in the summer with a fall finale. It's both virtual and in person. And the first bracket, if you think of it that way, is with your regional partner organization. So you're part of the WBDC's RPO because of, we're your RPO because of where you're based. And we will be advertising that starting early summer with dates and everything. And WBENC does a little training, we can help coach you with it. This year, 2026, there are 2 actual pitches. One is for service-based businesses, one is for product-based businesses, because just you can have the most amazing accounting firm ever, and you can be great at talking about your accounting firm, and you are just not going to beat the cute product in a pitch competition. So we've divided it into two separate sessions like that. So stay tuned for more information, both from us and from WBENC about that. The other thing I just love is this We Thrive program, which is kind of an EOS program that stands for Entrepreneur Operating System. It's something that is just a great way to help your business become more effective at operation. So it's not really sales-based. Many of these programs are about sales, which is logical and beneficial. But the EOS program is more about how to run your business more effectively. And it's just a great opportunity. So lots of different things. Then, of course, there's the national conference. This event brings together nearly 2,000 WBEs, corporate representatives, and government representatives, and includes small group networking opportunities and a large trade show, plus workshops and speakers. The 2026 National Conference will be held June 15th to 18th in Salt Lake City. You've probably started to get information from WBENC about that. Here's a bit more information about the national conference. If you are selling on a national level, or you want to be, and you sell to lots of different kinds of businesses, as opposed to, I only want to talk to one business, the national conference is really a good opportunity to be able to do that. Okay, so this slide summarizes a lot of ways to leverage your certification back home with the WBDC. So I've already mentioned some of those procurement events and opportunities to make connections with our corporate partners, which include both our regional signature events and other opportunities. These programs have varied formats, generally determined by the needs of the customers. Sometimes they're panels, sometimes networking, sometimes more formal matchmaking. Don't forget the value of developing relationships with other WBEs. Whether as customers, partners, or mentors, these relationships can be personally and professionally rewarding. We also can support media exposure to you or for you through social media. Let us know if you've received some kind of award, and we can share it on our social. If you have some sort of significant anniversary, and I define significant as divided by 5, whatever. If you're doing some social about it, just send me an email with like the LinkedIn link to the social you want shared, and I'll have our marketing folks share it. We are not able to share, kind of sales events or generally speaking events that you're doing we have 2,500 WBEs, and as you would imagine, that would become a little overwhelming. But things that are more special and recognitions would love to do that for you. We also have, and I forgot to say this, we also have on our website, and I'll put this link in the chat, in the certification page of our website, for those of you who are listening to the recording, scroll down and you'll see our WBE highlight section. Every month we highlight a couple of WBEs on our website, but also on socials. And there's a link there that you can kind of like apply to be on the list, and our marketing gal will reach out to you and say, hey, do you want to participate this month, and kind of give you the instructions. So we have a lot of programming and expertise to help you grow your business. Please take advantage of these services. We are here to help you. I want to highlight a couple of things. We do have a lot of government procurement expertise. We also have an amazing international trade center. And what that means is that we have an advisor who is an expert in exporting. She can also do some support for importing problems. And in an environment with fast changing international situations, Soraya is amazing. So if you want to be in contact with her, let me know, and I can make that connection as well. I also want to highlight merger, acquisition, and succession planning support. If you restructure your business, if you bring in investors, if you transfer ownership, that will impact your certification. It may not matter to you today, but please do put this in your head for future reference. When you get to the point where you are thinking about changing the structure or capitalization or ownership of your company, please let us know. Through confidential discussions and conversations, we have been able to help WBEs maintain the control they need to stay certified, while also positioning their companies for the future. And don't forget our digital learning library. These are free videos and online on-demand courses that are available to you whenever you want them. You go to WBDC.org and look in the programs and services section, kind of on the left-hand side at the bottom. And I'm going to put the link in the chat at the end of this live version. So once you've started growing your business by leveraging your WBE certification, you may want to deepen your relationship with WBENC and the WBDC. One of the biggest values of WBENC WBE certification is building connections with other WBEs and corporate partners, as well as taking advantage of the educational programming that we offer. And when you come to events, make sure you engage with people you don't know yet. I'm not going to go on and on, because everybody probably can give the same speech about folks just being in their phones when they're at an event. Be present, talk with people, meet people. If you're kind of introverted, make a game with yourself. I'm going to meet 3 new people at this networking event, or at this WBENC or WBDC program, or whatever it is. And do that. I mean, that's a lot of the value of the network. So each year, 14 exemplary women business owners representing each of the 14 RPOs are selected as WBE stars to receive the nation's premier award for excellence among women businesses. It's bestowed by WBENC at the annual conference. The Legacy of Leaders program was established to create a strategic role for dedicated and successful corporate, government, and WBE leadership who demonstrate a deep commitment to the organization and who previously held leadership roles within WBENC or within the WBENC network. The leaders are committed to breaking down barriers for women-owned businesses in the supply chain, and they serve as advisors to WBENC in supporting the growth and success of all WBEs. At the regional level, there are a number of ways to get involved with us. Once you've been certified for a while, you may participate in our virtual certification review committee. This is an interesting and fun way to meet with other WBEs and corporate partners. Twice a year, we host a virtual WBE roundtable to get your input into our programming and services and to let you know what we're hearing from our corporate partners. Some of our larger WBEs sponsor aspects of our regional events, which can raise your profile and grow your brand awareness. And of course, from time to time, we have projects or programs where your leadership can be valuable, both to you and to us. So thank you so much for participating in this webinar. I hope that you found it helpful. We and I are so pleased that you are part of our community. As I mentioned, this webinar is archived on our WBDC website in digital learning, so you can watch it again if you'd like. And please remember to reach out to us if you have any questions. I'm going to put some links in the chat now, but I'm going to stop recording.